Hey everybody, let's talk about chromosomes and meiosis. Welcome to an episode of Mrs. Picard Reviews. Today we're going to be going through our class notes on chromosome and meiosis for anybody who happened to miss the lesson or anybody out there who wants to learn a little bit about chromosomes and the process of meiosis. We discussed before that every cell in our body has a full set of DNA, meaning it has 46 chromosomes arranged into 23 pairs. Why is this important that every cell has this full set of information? No more and no less. Because if we do not have the right amount of DNA, that means that genes are missing, and that means that proteins can't be coded for, and our cells may be non-functioning. Remember we talked about chromatin and chromosomes. So chromatin is our unwound DNA that's found throughout the cell's interphase cycle. Okay, during this part of the cell cycle of interphase. The reason it's unwound in a spaghetti-like structure is because during that time, right, it is separating for the process of protein synthesis. It is going through DNA replication, and so we need it to be loose so that it can go through those two major functions. But when it comes time for the cell to get ready for division, the DNA does not want to be all loose and spaghetti-like because it can get messed up, pieces can get ripped off, and so it's going to condense itself. So the chromosomes condense, they curl on themselves, they bind on themselves into these tightly packed DNA structures called chromosomes. We only find them during cell division. That means we only find these these rod-like structures during mitosis or meiosis. During this time, there's no other macromolecule synthesis taking place. We're just getting ready for the process of division. Over here, let's take a look at what we're talking about over here. Remember we talked about with chromosomes that we have a pair of chromosomes, right? We have 23 pairs. For each of the 23 pairs, we have one that came from our biological mother and one that came from our biological father. During the process of replication, we end up with two copies of the genetic material we got from our biological mother and two copies of the chromosome we got from our biological father. Each copy is called a chromatid. So two sister chromatids together still produce a chromosome, and these two are a homologous chromosome, meaning they are the chromosomes or the sections of DNA with the genes that code for the same proteins, the same information, but we have one version that we got from our biological mom and one version we got from our biological father. We have two types of body cells. We have our human body cells, skin, nerve, muscle cells, all those types of cells. And each one of those has 46 chromosomes that are arranged in 23 pairs. Because they're arranged in pairs and that we have those 23 pairs, we say that they are diploid, meaning they come in sets of two. However, for the purpose of reproduction, where a new offspring, a new organism is going to be created from two parent organisms, we need a different type of cells. We need gamete cells. In animals, we call those sperm and eggs. In human beings, we have our gamete cells have only 23 chromosomes in them. They are not in pairs. And because they are not in pairs, we say they're haploid. So that we still have a full set of DNA, but rather than having two copies, right, one from a biological mom or one from a biological father, there's only one copy in each of these gamete cells. Why is that? Let's think about that. Why do gametes have half the number of chromosomes? Consider the following information. We're a combination of chromosomes from our parents, each pair containing one from our biological mother and one from our biological father. If each gamete had 46 chromosomes, how many chromosomes would the offspring have? Well, they'd have 92, and that is just too many. So if we instead have haploid cells, a haploid sperm and a haploid egg, right, one of each copy of the 23 chromosomes, put together will create 23 pairs. This is it for part one of chromosomes.